Good day here at Emmanuel, sisters and brothers. A really good day. We have a baptism and a confirmation. And as is our tradition here at Emmanuel, the confirmands get to deliver their sermon first. So I'm going to turn it over to our confirmand, Mr. Frisbee.
Good morning. Good morning. It's probably a few of you wondering what it is I'm doing up here. I've been an active member of Emmanuel for over 20 years now, and even experienced the extended run on council. But in a few moments, in front of all of you, I'm going to be confirmed. What does that mean? By definition, confirmation simply means a rite administered to baptized persons as a sacrament or visible sign declaring and strengthening their Christian faith. But what does it mean to confirm? I'm a little disappointed. I thought I was going to be rocking one of those robes, but am I expected to become a deacon or become ordained, or what does it mean? But you know what? I don't need to know, and I don't think that's what it means. I see this really only as a simple invitation. To me, this is yet another step along my spiritual path of learning and growing in the presence of God. As I've gotten older and matured somewhat, like most people, my views and opinions of the world have changed. And certainly my faith is no exception. I didn't grow up with any organized religion, and I certainly did not attend any church. But I truly feel I've always been seeking. I remember riding my bicycle here in the 70s, my little Schwinn varsity, to hear Pastor Pearson speak, because this was the place to be, and it was a rocking experience, and it was something I remember. Cindy and I were married, and we decided to make a conscious decision to make religion part of our children's lives. Our oldest, Chelsea, very active, very involved. It was time for her to become confirmed. Quite honestly, really didn't know what it meant, and she was kind of swept up in the process. So I kind of avoided that. Then it was my son Jake's turn, and we had a rowdy little group of people, and I was asked to sit in and chaperone. And I couldn't believe these kids were being bad during confirmation class. And I was speaking to my parents, and my mother pointed out to me that I had never been confirmed. And I came home and I was telling the kids, and Jake said to me, like, Dad, don't you remember? And times were a little different then, and it's a story for another day. But no, I do not remember whether or not I was confirmed. At the time, I thought I would do it with Jake. How cool would that be? Me and my boy standing up here, and after sitting in those classes and trying to control those little Indians, I honestly wanted no part of it. So I talked to Pastor Paul, and he said, I have to give this some thought. I'm a council veteran. So he said I need to give it some thought. Then it was my little Shannon's turn, and as those of us with children know, we learn so much more from our kids than I think we could ever hope to teach them. And she had a lot of questions, and unfortunately, it was around the time we lost Kathy Canty, and she was Shannon's teacher, and Shannon had a lot of questions. But throughout her questions and throughout her experience, I could hear her faith. I could hear it being challenged. I could hear it being tested. I could hear it being sought after. And I heard her honesty, and I heard her faith. And I could identify with her desire to know. I needed concrete answers about something that I couldn't explain to her. But I was also very comforted by the church community and the sense of fellowship I feel here at Emmanuel. And it was the hypocrisy that got me, that do as I say, not as I did, it didn't work in this instance. I didn't want to be because I said so, and I thankfully did what you people had taught me, I asked for help, I talked to Bill, I talked to George, I talked to Lee, And as a family, we had a meeting with Pastor Paul. And the mustard seed was planted. You know, I was like, this could be a good thing. Through my association with Emmanuel and all the wonderful things it offers, I have been involved. I had book studies, retreats, Alpha course, men's Bible study. And I've tried my best to speak God's word, both by thought and deed. So why get confirmed? Here at Emmanuel, I feel I am one amongst many. I'm in fellowship with you and invited to do so with God. And because of this, I feel ours is a living religion. I've been invited here to publicly declare and acknowledge my desire to be in deeper relationship with God. So, for me standing here, confirmation is nothing more than another step towards furthering my identity as a Christian, to continue to learn God's Word and grow. I would hope it's not the end, but the beginning of realizing what a journey of faith can be. Very simply, in closing, I want to thank my beautiful family. I want to thank my wife, who's put up with me for close to 30 years, and my precious children, because, again, I learn more from them than I could ever hope to teach. And I'm looking forward to a great day. Thank you all.